How many of us have owned or managed or have stock in a savings and loan company? The failure was not our fault, yet it became our burden. Affirmative Action is Chrysler Corporation being saved from bankruptcy under the rationale of saving American jobs. So the taxpayers saved a company that could pay its chairman $4,000 an hour to make the decision to put Japanese engines into a minivan, assemble them in Canada, and try to sell them to African Americans working at McDonald's making $5 an hour. And America is worried about African Americans benefiting from reverse discrimination. Let me assure you that no matter how little or how much affirmative action we will receive, it will not be enough to take us where we need to go. Therefore, I now shift the emphasis to what has been done to us, to what we must do for ourselves. This weekend, as we have done since 1974, we have taken our own affirmative action by joining together. We've taken our own affirmative action by recognizing competence and commitment in our young people. We have taken our own affirmative action by recognizing the talent and persistence of family members of all ages and sexes. I say, let it grow and continue. We aren't as good as we ought to be, we aren't as good as we're going to be, but thank God, we aren't as bad as we were. I submit to you that within the creative suffering that we have experienced lies our greatest strength. We have developed the ability to overcome better than any people in this nation, quite simply because we have had more to overcome. Do not fall victim to the negative mental conditioning that seeks to limit your options. Do not believe that the only key to your better future lies in the halls of Congress. Certainly you should continue to work and pray for justice in our factories and institutions and political system. But in the meantime and in between time, please join me on the train ride to equality. To ride the train of freedom and equality, we must have our ticket. Our down payment has been made with the blood, sweat, and tears of several hundred years of slavery. Then from 1865 until the middle of this century, our ancestors made large principal payments by learning together and working together and suffering together and supporting each other. Then came Brown versus Topeka and Rosa Parks and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Black America came together in what was to be the final payment for our ticket to freedom and equality. And just as the train was approaching the heartland of hope, we decided to take a detour. The first stop on our detour was the city of Compromise, where we discarded our notion of the extended family. We decided that if our Johnny or our Jackie wanted to throw rocks at the neighbor's dog, so be it, and the neighbor better not say anything. The next stop on our detour was the Isle of Ignorance, where we decided that if the teacher was picking on our poor Johnny or Jackie, the Johnny or Jackie didn't have to learn. And not only that, if Johnny or Jackie punched the teacher, that was okay too. The next stop on our detour was the state of Sorry, where we decided that if no one else cared, why should we? We started to send our kids to play in the neighbor's yard because we were too stressed to deal with them. The next stop on our detour was the county of Complacency, where we forgot that we had won only some of the battles, but not the war. We heard that there was in the land something called affirmative action, and we believed that after 400 years of broken promises, that we could relax and everything would take care of itself. We settled into our jobs, traded books for television, stopped knowing or caring about our neighbors, and in some cases stopped knowing or caring about our families. With our hopes and our dreams in layaway for so long, we decided to pay for our ticket on the installment plan. We believed that the dividends of affirmative action would eventually cause our account to be paid in full. The reality is that we are now hit with the balloon payment, the terms of which demand that we forfeit our gains, liquidate our assets, and return to start.